Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vision of Life, a podcast about life and philosophy and literature, yada yada yada. I'm your host Nibir, and before the podcast starts, I want to wish every single one of you a happy new year. Let me know how your 2024 went. Was it a 5-star? Was it a 4-star? Or was it a 3-star? I hope it didn't go below that. I'd be really sad then. So let me know, and yeah, a happy new year. I hope this year will be very, very enjoyable. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. So yeah, let me tell you about now. I'm recording this episode on 31st of December. And I just got back from cycling, a ride with my friends, and it was really fun actually. We talked about religion, society, and deep stuff, and of course our usual teenagers things. It was really fun actually. But anyway, we do this every year. We try to go for a ride at the last day of the year, that is 31st. And it was really fun. And we reflected on 2024, and we were talking about our next year's resolution. You might be listening this podcast when it's already 2025, but I'm remember that I'm recording before the year starts. Anyway, so yes, in this episode we'll be talking about New Year resolutions and if they make sense or not, and also about some of my misadventures, some of my mistakes, some of the things that I wish that I had not done. And we'll start with that. So yeah, wait, hold on. Before this episode starts, I want to thank today's sponsor, my dear friend Priyanshu. And he wants to say,
I want you to achieve your goals. Pursue them with pure determination. And please never give up on your dreams and hopes. Follow your passion. Follow your drive. Strive on it. Because I know you will achieve it someday. I don't know when. I cannot guarantee anything. But I just know that one day is never impossible. Thank you.
Absolutely, Priyanshu. Never give up. Never settle. Again, thank you, Priyanshu, for supporting me. You're one of the best. Now, if you listener, if you like the podcast, if you like my newsletter or my work, and you want to contribute, the easiest way to do that is to buy me a cup of coffee or chai. That is another way of asking for money. But if you don't have money, that's completely fine. You can contribute with your time by giving this podcast a nice rating on Spotify, or giving me feedback, via email or YouTube comments or whatever, and sharing this podcast to as many people as you can. Of course, I'll be more glad if you give me money, of course. You can use UPI, by the way. And that way, you can have your own segment in this podcast and tell the audience whatever you've learned, whatever, good things you want. Yeah, just like Priyanshu. But either way, I'm glad to have you as a listener. So yeah, back to the remaining episode, which will be very long. So grab yourself some popcorn or some tea and just relax. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. So after my exams ended in November, and after I had posted my last episode about November chaos, think of this episode as the sequel to that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of things happened, and something really unfortunate happened. That is, I fell into a deep period of unproductivity. Where when you can't when you can't do anything. When you can't focus, when you can't study, when you can't do shit. That happened to me. Yeah, it was not fine. I chased my desires after I had posted the podcast. I told you about my creativity and all that. I worked on that. I wanted to do things that I liked, that is, customize my Linux and record music videos or whatever. But what happened was that I just continued doing those things. I stopped studying really for school. But when that happened, I lost structure in my life. Everything was like imagine a scenario where you're just wandering in the desert, right? You have a lot of choices, you know? You can go to your west, to your east, to your south, to your north, but you don't know where to go, and so you wander, huh? So you wander and you get lost, and that's what happened to me. Without any structure, without any anchor, without any structure, my life was out of focus. I wanted to focus, I wanted to study, and even after doing the things that I liked, I couldn't do them. I was greedy, I wanted to, just keep on doing these, things. I was pretty hedonistic at that point, and it wasn't nice. Yeah. So what was the solution? Of course, I was, very, very not depressed, but frustrated. I was stressed. I was frustrated because I was once a person who could focus, who could be productive, who could be efficient. But now, seeing that I wasn't that person anymore, it really, really hurt me. And so there was only one solution, and that was to restart. Start back from scratch and rebuild everything. Rebuild my focus, rebuild my system. Because it's the systems that that are really the core of your workflow, of your productivity, whatever. And so what made me take that step was a video from James Schultz. I guess you know him already. I mean, he's a pretty famous guy. I had been inspired by him from a long time. I know not from those 12 hours a day videos, but from his new channel where he posts things about his technology and how you can get back control of your life. I was really inspired by these things before, and now I started watching a video of him. I watched this, it was called A Day in the Life of a Productivity Enthusiast or something like that. So I watched that video and everything just felt so good. Everything just felt so good. I'm not a college student like him, but it felt so good. So it felt so empowering, You get to do it on your own. It is. I'm not so sure if I'm able to articulate this in a proper way. But that struggle, that struggle of waking up early, that struggle of being focused, that struggle brings meaning. I'm not quoting, but like paraphrasing Albert Camus, and his absurdist philosophy is that the struggle is what brings us meaning. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. If you have read Myth of Sisyphus, he says that struggle brings you meaning, and I felt that. I felt that watching James Schultz's video, and I wanted to do that as well. I was so inspired, I was so motivated that I knew I had to restart. I had to rebuild my system because that is the only way. I remember he talked about this in another video, that you cannot just stick to one solution. You can experiment a lot of things when you're building something, when you're trying to do things. There is no solution, right? From a productivity point of view, there are a lot of things that might just not work after a certain point of time. Like, for example, I used to time block everything, but now it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, I realized that then. I was stuck. I kept on relying on my old system, which now didn't work, which failed to bring my focus back. So yeah, I had to chase, but do something better, right? So how did I improve? How did I try to get my focus back? And yeah, now I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, I've been streaming on YouTube, Study With Me live streams. And if you have seen my videos there, if you have seen my live streams, you know that I am a lot more focused. You could say that is like 100 times improvement, from like 3 weeks ago or something. Yeah. So I felt really good. I'm feeling really good right now, to be honest. Like, if you compare that period, that part when I was not able to study for just 30 minutes without being distracted, it feels a lot better. So yeah, how did I improve? I try to do these things. I try to fix my sleep schedule. I got inspired by James Schultz, and actually I started waking up early, about 7:15 a.m. I used to wake up at 8:30, 9 something. That's really bad. But anyway, yeah. And I try to sleep early, actually. So what happens here in India is that it's not as what you would do in some other place, I guess, maybe US or something. People sleep pretty late here, actually. I mean, I don't know if that's the same with US. I mean, I'm just making assumptions, but anyway, I feel that people here sleep very late, especially students, because they have to do work, they have to study. One of my friends actually sleeps at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. He keeps on studying and stuff. And anyway, so yeah, I used to sleep at 12:30 a.m. or 1 a.m. Not because I was studying. I do not study, but because my routine wasn't just right. After dinner, I sit down on my laptop to plan for the next day. But then I get distracted and I start browsing the web. I start fixing, bugs, whatever. So yeah, that just didn't work for me. So I had to fix that. I had to fix my sleep schedule, and I had to sleep early. So I aimed for 11:30 p.m., but I couldn't. So I am now sleeping at 12 a.m. on point, which is far better than 1 a.m. actually. I mean, if you count the hours, 12 to 7, it's a 7-hour sleep, and that's quite well. That's better than 6 hours, but that's worse than 8 hours, of course. Yeah, the next thing that I did was track my focus and energy levels after every deep work session. So after every Pomodoro or every something, every interval, I track my focus and energy levels to see what might be the cause. At what time am I the most productive, the most efficient, and the most energetic, and that helps me to know myself and to do things more efficiently. Because of course, if I see that I'm not able to work at 5 p.m., then of course I would not plan for something that takes a lot of mental and physical efforts in that time, right? So yeah, and the next thing I did, for starters, because I could not focus for at least like 30 minutes, I tried to start my focusing slowly, and I wanted to do minimum of 1 hour of deep work every day. 1 hour of deep work every day. I just wanted that. Minimum of 1 hour every day. And actually, I did more than that. My goal was to reach 20 hours of deep work every week by the end of December. That is, by today. And yeah, I must say that I have succeeded in doing that. I've got 20 hours of deep work, and I'm really proud of that. But I started from 1 hour. I started from 1 hour and then I worked my way up and I started streaming. So that helped me, keep accountable for things, right? And another thing, it might be a bit peculiar, I guess, which was I wanted to take a minimal approach to things and stop giving any fucks. I wanted to stop giving any fucks to those things that doesn't really matter. I'd been reading this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, and to be honest, it's a really nice book. I get why the hype is there for that book, and in a nutshell, it tells us that there are a lot of things that just are worthless, that you shouldn't give any fucks to, because if you give any fucks to the things that don't matter, how will you give fucks to the things that matter? Right? I mean, if you give a lot of attention to the things that don't matter, then how will you give attention to the things? How will you give attention to the things that really matter? So, in a nutshell, stop giving fucks to the things that don't matter. And I tried to do that. I mean, it sounds vague, but I guess it's understandable. And which included underworking by 30%. So yeah, what I mean by that is, before all of this, I used to plan my day and I used to, overwhelm myself. I used to overwhelm myself with a lot of tasks every day, a lot of subtasks, whatever, and that was really overwhelming. So I'm trying to reduce that. I'm trying to underwork. I want to underwork by 30%. This idea came from an article by Robin Walden, and which came from the idea of Bertrand Russell, actually. So yeah, Robin tried to underwork by 30% and he was significantly happy. He could focus on the things that mattered and he produced more, quality in his work. So I just wanted to do that. I want to focus on quality, not quantity. So underworking would help me focus on just a few tasks and do them effectively or in a better way, I think. So yeah, I try to pick just 3 tasks nowadays. Just 3 tasks. One is related to my studies, second is related to my hobbies, and third is related to self-improvement. I'll get to this maybe later in this episode when I talk about New Year resolutions and stuff. Anyway, there were some mantras that helped me recover from my rut, recover from that really frustrating period of my life. That is, I'd be just reciting them, I guess. First, deep work is meaningful. Absolutely. Deep work is meaningful. Second, struggling for a purpose brings meaning. I just said that before. Third, be responsible for everything. Even if it's not your fault, it is your responsibility. And this is the idea. This is an idea I got from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that book. And it was extremely profound. Like, not your fault, but your responsibility. Not your fault, but it's your responsibility. You have to do that. You have to be responsible. You have to do that. I'm not telling you from a workaholic point of view. I'm just saying that anything in your life, like you have to take responsibility, because you are not some special, you're not entitled to things. You're not some, prince or princess. You are just human beings, just like the rest of us, and you have to be responsible. You have to do what matters, And the next point is, your task is to be a good human being, with humility and without hypocrisy. No, I got this from Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, so these points connect each other. Yeah, you have to be a good human being. That's what matters, right? And okay, the next point is resilience over resistance. This is another one of those quotes by James Schwartz. This why I love this quote is because I don't know. It just felt so good. Resilience over resistance. Being tough and enduring things over trying to resist things. Trying to, you know, yeah. I mean, it's just good. It's just good. It helped me focus for a long time actually. And from focus, the next point is attention is a skill that you can build. This is one of my own points, but it's timeless wisdom anyway. Yeah, attention is a skill that you can build. That's why I knew that if I had to restart, I'll be able to get back my focus. I'll be able to get back my focus because it's a skill that you can build, right? And the next thing is narrow down your identity and reinforce it. Another one of those ideas from Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is that find yourself an identity like a creator, an honest person, or a scholar, something like that. As narrow as possible, as down to earth. I mean, I don't know the correct words for this. And you have to work your way. You have to do things that reinforce that identity. For example, my identity as I identify as a scholar. I think myself as a scholar, and I do things that a scholar does. And that way, if I do some action that produces evidence that yes, my identity is it's valid, and that brings me motivation, right? When you do these things, when you do the things that support your identity, it just reinforces that identity, and that brings you motivation, and and then you can like believe that yeah, I'm a scholar, man. I'm a scholar, yeah, and that is what's important. And the next point is underworking brings happiness. That's why I started underworking. And yeah, these are some of my mantras that help me recover. And that's why I feel that I am in a better place than 3 weeks ago. And I feel that I can improve these things in the next year. Remember, I'm recording in 2024. You are listening on 2025. So yeah, on 2025, I think I can improve myself even more, and I'm damn sure that you guys can also improve yourself in this year. I think this year should be a year of self improvement. I mean, every day, every year, every moment should be dedicated to self improvement and to be a good human. But anyway, to keep things precise, yes, this year, the year of improvement. So, what is my plan for the future? What is my plan for 2025? What are my New Year resolutions? And what do I mean by New Year resolutions? To answer that, I think I should reflect on 2024 before 2024. Yes. 2024 was pretty peculiar. I finished giving my 10th boards exams, and then I wanted to do a lot of things actually. I started my blog. Yes, I started my blog, and I started enrolling in a lot of programs and stuff, and I started learning a lot of things. Yeah, that period was really fast. I mean, I switched to Linux. That was a big thing for me. And then my grade 11th started, and it has been a roller coaster ever since, because at first I found it to be rough. I found it to be a bit difficult, a bit crazy actually. I found it crazy because I was never into those like abstract. I mean, like, I found it too abstract, too new. The bridge between 10th and 11th is really big. Yeah, and there is no bridge. There is no bridge, my man. There is a wide river that you have to cross, and that is really stressing. So thanks to my like efficient study techniques, I guess I could at least gather some things from my studies, and I could give my exams for 11th. And but still I still find it a bit difficult to catch things, to catch up. I remember I was really really depressed, really stressed, because I just couldn't understand the first chapter of my chemistry textbook. No, I just couldn't. And I remember that I was so, like, I was feeling suffocated or something. I talked with my friends with this, and with my parents, and I just couldn't understand. But in hindsight, I think it was inevitable, because I think everybody will feel that way when they enter grade 11th. If you're listening and you're on grade 10th or grade 9 or whatever, just consider this, that you will feel stressed, you will feel really depressed, but that's okay, because you will find your way out of that, just like I did, and just like everybody else did. You're not alone. But okay, coming back to the topic, my grade 11, yes, and I worked on a few projects. Like I made videos on these things, science, math, and stuff, on my YouTube, and I did a research kind of program, which was really nice. I got to work with international team, very nice, and I kept on writing my stuff. I kept on doing my things. I kept on studying, and I kept on playing music. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I did those things, and it was actually nice. I'm kind of speechless, because that's what happens when you're overwhelmed, I think. Yeah, maybe I'm overwhelmed with a lot of information. Yeah. So my resolutions for 2024 were, I wanted to be a better knowledge worker, that is to consume more knowledge, learn more things, and produce better quality, create better things. Create better things. And I wanted to publish and write and keep on doing these kind of things. And for both of them, I think this year was really nice. This year was really effective. I think I should have counted my studies as well, because at that time I was thinking that 11 would be fine, it would be fine, that kind of thing. But it isn't. Like, you have to consider that aspect. I did not. I kept on focusing on my extracurriculars, I think, and the extra knowledge. And this reminds me that I had read a lot of books. I have a library of around 64 books now, and it feels really nice. I get giddy every time I talk about books, and this year was a good year of books, actually. So okay, the third resolution was that I wanted to be more fit. And I started working out this year after my boards, I think, or before boards, I don't remember. But I started working out, and I have been doing this. I have been weight training 3 times a week for, what is it? 6, 7 months, 8 months, whatever. And damn, it feels nice. It feels really good. You should try it. Actually, it like why do you train weights? Why do you lift weights? Why do you work out? Why do you exercise? It's because you should, first thing, and it's because it feels good. And third thing, if you're a scholar, if you're who needs to work with their brains, then yeah, man, just brain follows your body. Yeah, brain follows your body. So I needed to work out to have a better health and maintain better energy, and that's why I started working out. And yeah, I've been doing. I would not say great, but I've been doing good, and I feel that I could improve this. I think I need a better workout program for myself, because it has been a while since I didn't feel much of a progress, and I definitely should track my progress. I, I write, I log down my what do you call it, reps and sets, but I do not chart them or graph them out to see if I'm actually making progress, which is really worse. So yeah, I'll definitely have to improve that. And yeah, another resolution was I wanted to spend more time with my family, which I would not say that it didn't go well for that resolution, but definitely it could use some improvement, which I'll come back when I'll talk about the resolutions for 2025. And one of my next resolution was that I wanted to be more confident and more outgoing, and I think I did well on that, because I met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, worked with a lot of people. I still have a bit of shyness, a bit of what do you call it, some introvertness. Maybe that's not the right word, but you get it. But yeah, it was much better than like 2023, I suppose. So those were my New Year resolutions. And if I had to rate 2024, if I had to rate 2024, I would rate it a solid 4, actually. A solid 4. I mean, it was much better than 2023 because, yeah, I got a lot of experience this year, and I wasn't very stressed. I expect, except from these, few weeks ago, and yeah, I got to engage with a lot of things this year. Yeah, 2023 was also a solid 4, to be honest, and that makes this year 4.5. I don't know, like, yeah, I'm still a bit confused. Like, it was good. It was good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. And again, let me know what your 2024 went. Yeah. So coming back to the next year, but this, I mean, like, I always forget that I'm recording this on 2024. Anyway, this year, that is 2025, that you are listening on, what are my plans for this year? Well, first thing first, I want to help out more around the house and be more with my family. I've noticed a recent change in power dynamics between my parents and me. Like, there comes a certain point in our lives when our parents start depending upon us. I mean, till we are teenagers and all those years, all those 18, 19 years, we are dependent on our parents. Sure, they are the ones that give us answers, and they are the ones that we look for help. But after a certain point, and of course it's necessary, and of course it's natural, that our parents start looking forward to us, looking forward for help, looking for help for looking for our parents start looking for help to us. Shit, man, my grammar is getting worse. Anyway, so I've recently recognized that change, and I understand that because to be honest, my parents are getting old, your parents are getting old, everybody's getting old, and it's only natural, right? So I want to embrace that change, and I want to help them out. I want to be more responsible, you know, because after all, it's only your family, right? Those are the ones you have. Those are the real people, of course. Yeah. So I want to help out more around the house and help my mother, help my father do those things and just be more present around the house. I won't say that I don't work. I don't do chores, and I don't do help, and I don't help my parents. I won't say that. I still do, but I think I need to be more responsible, and I think I need to be more helpful. Yes. Okay. So that is my first resolution. I remember I still haven't thought everything out. I still have to reflect on 2024 with a deeper sense, I guess, more philosophical or something. And I still have to think about 2025 as a year. But I think this will be one of those resolutions. And of course, another resolution will be to learn cooking. Learn cooking. I think that it's a really essential skill to have, because sooner or later I'll be moving out. I'll be moving out, and I need to know how to cook, because frankly I need to keep my body, keep my physique on point, right? And yeah, learn cooking. Definitely a New Year resolution. But I haven't answered the main question. What do I mean by resolutions? What do I mean by New Year resolutions? I think the typical, definition of New Year resolution is that some rigid rule, rigid thing that you have to do every day, that you commit to, and that sort of thing. But no, that doesn't work out for me, because to be honest, if I just said that I will wake up every single morning at 6:30 a.m. That's my New Year resolution. That will be a really shitty thing. Because I wouldn't do it. That's what happens. That's what people do. But that's not New Year resolutions. New Year resolutions should be something broad, so not very specific, because of course you'll have your weeks, your months, and your days to work on that aspect. New Year resolutions, in my opinion, should be some aspect that you pick to work on. Like, for example, I picked my family, right? I wanted to improve my relation with my family. That is an aspect that I'll work on in this year. Of course, there will be subtasks, specific goals, and sub objectives or whatever that I'll incorporate in every month, every week towards that resolution. So that's what I mean by New Year resolutions. I don't want to, do something like, what do you call it? Start practicing guitar every day. Maybe not a good New Year resolution. Maybe learn cooking is also not a New Year resolution, but I think I'll improve on that. I think I'll make sure that I find why I'm doing that. Yeah, that's important. That's really important. Wow. You need to find why you're doing that thing. You need to find why you want to, improve your relation with your family. Like I just explained that I wanted to improve because I recognize that change in power dynamics, and I feel that I should be more present around with my family. So that is my why. And because I have a why, I will figure out how, and I'll finally do that thing. If you don't have a why, you can't do it. You just can't do it, because you can't do anything without a reason. Everything happens for a reason, right? Yeah. That's the thing. Okay. I think there's another thing that I'll like to improve. It's my social life. That's a really interesting topic, because The people who are close to me know that I'm really not reachable. I'm very, very hard to reach. I'm very, very hard to reach. I don't use WhatsApp. I even if I do it rarely. I check WhatsApp like 2 times every week, and that's absurd because WhatsApp is like SMS. It's like like staple of Indian society, Indian communication system. It's impossible to survive without WhatsApp, and still I don't use WhatsApp. But that has a lot of benefits. Yes, I can focus on my things that matter. Okay, WhatsApp is something that I don't want to give a fuck. It just doesn't matter as a whole. I want to focus on my studies, on my extracurriculars, on my career, or with my friends, with my family. Because I think, yes, WhatsApp is not important, but being social, being with your friends, being with your family, that's important. Yes, I believe that. Yes. And that's why I'm a bit frustrated actually. Because I don't use WhatsApp, because people don't really have a means of reaching me. I am not able to talk with them. I'm not able to find appropriate time to talk with them. That's one of those things. I want to improve that because I really value connection. I really value relationship that I have with my online friends, with my friends that I met before with programs on somewhere. That I just value connections. I value those relationships, and I still want to maintain those things. But I don't want to use WhatsApp. I don't want to use messages. I want to call. Yes, I want to adopt conversation-centric communication, and that's that's the idea from a book called Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. You should read that. It says that the methods of communication, like SMS or WhatsApp or short emails or whatever, they are not humane. Like you don't get to hear their voice, or see them, or feel their emotions. You don't connect with them, right? I don't like that, right? I don't want to text. I mean, if it's really short and really urgent, that's different. That's different, or some kind of notification. I think it should be used as a supplement, right? As some kind of additional thing than calls, right? Calls should be your main primary method of communication, and that's why things have been a bit uneasy because not a lot of people have times. Even I don't have time, and I want to make time for my friends, for my family, and for my close ones. That's what I'd like to improve in 2025. My social life, yes. And as a student, I want to finish some courses on mathematics. I love mathematics, and I want to keep on reading books, and I want to stop thinking about what I will do after boards or after 12, then all that rat race stuff, and just do what is good, do what matters. I know it might sound a bit crazy. A lot of people say that I'm crazy to think that way, but maybe we'll see about that. We'll see what happens. Right now, my only goal is to be a good human, to learn better, and to be a nice person, nice friend, nice son, nice partner. That is my goal. So, yes, I have changed as a person. Maybe, not maybe. I am not the same person that I was, in the start of this year, in the start of 2024. No, at that point, I was at the start of this self. I mean, my past self is the cause of my present self, but that's a bit philosophical. I won't get into that. I started doing those things, I started programming my blog. I started making my website and started the Substack uh, at the start of the year, maybe December last year. Uh, and sure, it was the upbringing, but still, I am not the same person now. I have learned a lot of things on the way. I have learned to be uh, a better person, to be a better speaker, to work with people. I've tried to counter my biases. I tried to be more rational. Definitely, I wasn't definitely rational before. I'm still not, but that's a different thing. Yes, I am. I have changed as a person, and that's important because if you don't change as a person, you're not really growing. I mean, you should cringe at your past self, and I surely cringe at my past self. Yeah, this reminds me that I have to review my previous blogs and see see if my writing style has changed or my opinions have changed. I was a lot angry before at this society, at this education system, and yada yada yada. That has softened a bit. I'm still not supportive of everything now, but it definitely has softened. I'm definitely a bit more practical now. I won't say that I'm 100% practical. No, the people who really know me know that I'm not really practical. I'm really optimistic, and I was quite very 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 optimistic back then. But that was not practical. That was that was really ideal. Not that great. Yeah, it's important to be practical, right? And that is, I think, is a quality that I possess now. Yes, definitely. I still have a lot way to go. You have a lot more to go. I feel that I I feel that we should always work on our systems. We should work on our workflows and our whatever systems. Okay, I just got a bit, deep. Yeah. If there is one thing I'd like to say to my past self, that would be learn from your experience, embrace the mistakes, listen to people, definitely. Listen to people, and work on yourself. Fuck everything else. Just do that. Be close to your family, be close to your friends, work on yourself. Don't do shit that you don't like. And yeah. Happy New Year, past Nibir, and Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for listening.